Hi, I'm Andy Bush, editor and publisher of the Bush Update. I'm here at the NASDAQ market site in Times Square with CEO Dennis Gallagher from Student Transportation, Inc. Let's talk about what you consider the key drivers for growth in your company.
Well, we actually do what I call the ABCs of growth, and those are really
for a school bus company. ABCs,
we're in the
I love
education
it.
business,
That's
so
great.
we try to keep it easy. But A is acquisitions, which I think everybody understands. We acquire other companies. B is kind of a bid into the market share, so there's a huge market share out there and opportunity. Right. C is what we call the conversions, which are privatization moves. We got 10,000 school districts that still own and operate their own fleets. And then literally, recently, we've added a D component, which is a retail kind of direct to the parents. So we've been growing at about 15% a year for the last 12 years in a row.
My goodness.
And compounded annual growth of revenues, 15% a year. And I think, that's some strong growth.
Let's talk about another program that you have, the Municipal Tax Leasing program. It's a mouthful, but what is it? How does it work?
Municipal tax leasing has been around for a long time, and it's a program that the government has created for school districts, for municipalities. So it's being used in a lot of towns with fire trucks, with garbage trucks, and now with school buses. With the Federal Reserve literally lending money to the banks at zero, the banks have gotten tax-free status to lend back to school districts. So there is this huge opportunity right now. And what we've seen is fleets are getting older and older and older, and I'm saying they should be getting newer and newer and newer, because we're getting rates of like 1% to 2% financing for our school districts.
Yeah, money's really cheap.
So we've got to take advantage of that to be able to upgrade these fleets now for the new technology, the clean fuels, the safety components and things like that. We've got states like the state of South Carolina, which literally has an average age of 22-year-old fleet.
Holy
I mean,
smokes.
we run 12,000 vehicles with an average age of 5.7. And obviously we make money, so, this is...
It can be done.
And they spend more per bus than we do. So, the opportunities are there for school districts and municipalities to be able to take advantage of the low rates that are there. And certainly right now, the Federal Reserve is not indicating, a huge spike in rates over the next couple of years, or maybe for the foreseeable future.
Why would a school district want to do this? I mean, what's holding them back? They obviously think that this is going to add to their debt, but it's leasing, right?
It is, and it's probably the hardest sell I think I've ever had, because they just don't understand the program, and thus that means we're not doing a good enough job selling it. So what we're doing now is finding examples of folks that are out there that are doing municipal leasing with school buses, and we're trying to show them. But I think, to your point about the debt, we run into a lot that said we would love to upgrade our fleet, but geez, we just can't take the additional debt on our books because we want to build schools in the future and things like that. The program with the banks right now is that the schools have an opt-out every single year out of the lease. So it really isn't debt. It is not debt on their books, according to the banks and according to the leasing companies. It's not debt on their books. It's an annual expense. They have a contract with me for 5 or 7 years, like we've talked about in the past. That's not debt. They have a contract with me. They owe me the money over 5 or 7 years, but but they have an annual opt-out on the expense. So my transportation contract is an expense, and in this case, the lease is an expense. And when we break the first couple of ones, we've done 2 or 3 this year. But I think 3 will lead to 6, and 6 will lead to 20. And we've got to be able to take advantage of this program right now that the government has.
Right. So as your company looks into the future for alternative fuels, I mean, what's your projected path with it?
Well, we literally have been the innovators and the leaders in the industry on alternative fuels. And we've been noted for that, and we've been thanked by the industry for that. The moms that we deal with, our real customers, not my 200 school districts. Yes, they're my contracted customers. But the 1.5 million moms that we have out there, they're my real customers. And they wanted to see innovation and technology in new alternative fuels. And the propane is 60% less carbon monoxide produced in and around our schools. That's a huge thing. So, we've got millennial moms now coming in, very much more in tune with what goes on the bus, the new technologies, and certainly alternative and clean burning fuels. So these are things that I think are help driving our decision was, we're getting better fuel efficiency out of the diesel, Okay, but you know, what's a cleaner burning fuel for us to use? And so we decided to sit down with the manufacturers, kind of force their hand to be able to take those R&D costs out for us, kind of lower the cost of capital of those, and that we could help them literally reinvent the industry with using alternative fuels.
Yeah, and I think that's another reason why investors kind of like your company, because you do those kind of things. So,
absolutely.
Oh, that's great. All right, thanks, Dennis. If you want more information, please go to the company's website, ridestbus.com. Thanks for watching.